Is there some reason why there's such a rise in colon cancer? Well, let's talk about this. Hi, I'm Sharon Gilbert, and I have followed the shepherd since I was a child. He led me through music and medicine and academics and all sorts of wonderful paths, but my choices weren't always good ones. However, in 1997, he turned all those life choices into a wonderful marriage to my perfect partner, and from there into full-time ministry. Following Jesus' steps means more than being obedient. It means gaining spiritual muscle. It means putting on the full armor of God. So let's take the next steps together, shall we? Suited up and ready to follow as the shepherd's armored sheep. Hi, I'm Sharon Gilbert, and welcome back to the Armored Sheep. I want to apologize for not posting a brand new episode yesterday. We had company here in Gilbert House, and I got a little bit busy and totally forgot. So I apologize for that, and we'll try to be better about making it every Wednesday from now on. And I want to thank you for subscribing. Brand new subscribers, thank you for subscribing to Gilbert House. And those of you who have been sharing the videos, we want to thank you for that. Those of you who have downloaded our app, if you don't want to watch on YouTube, or maybe one day we're not here, you can go to gilberthouse.org/app and download the app for your favorite devices. That includes mobile and in your home, watching through your smart TV. Today I want to talk about something that is affecting some very good friends of mine, including someone in my family. And it's important, I think, to get a handle on what's going on in the world regarding a rise in cancer. The biggest thing that I'm seeing is the rise in cancer in young people. Way too many people have, especially young people, have started to be diagnosed with end-stage colon cancer, very aggressive colon cancers. And I'm sure that there's an entire variety of reasons for this. But one of the specific reasons just determined and released in a study are oils made from seeds. Now, many of you cook with what's called canola oil. That actually is Canadian oil. That's where the can in canola comes from. It's actually rapeseed oil, and it, along with many other seed oils, have been determined to be problematic and perhaps directly connected to the rise in colon cancers. Again, this is a preliminary study, so it cannot yet be proven, but the tumors that have been excised from colon cancers contain a lot of elements within seed oils. So that may well be what's going on. Now, back in the day, when I was young, Stone Age, we used lard. I remember lard being in our house all the time. Mom fried with it, she baked with it, and she made all sorts of lovely fried foods with it. And yes, it didn't raise our cholesterol. It did not lead to heart disease. The people in most families back then who got heart disease were heavy smokers. And that, sadly, was a lot of the population. Boy, ads, even TV shows had smoking in them back then. I'm going to see if I can turn this up. I'm going to stop midway. In the meantime, I'm going to take a break and see what's going on with my earphones, and I am going to let you see what the special is at Gilbert House store right now. So hang in there with me.
For December, we're offering every DVD in our online store for just $10. That's right. $10 for any DVD in our store. That includes collections of our teachings like This is War and Unmasking the Ancient Gods, The Four Horsemen, where we identify the fallen angels who ride in Revelation chapter 6, our travelogumentaries of our trips to Israel, Wars of the Gods Volume 1, Search for the Titans, and Wars of the Gods Volume 2, Search for the Rephaim, What Lies Beneath, a jaw-dropping discussion with Dr. Aaron Judkins about the influence of the fallen watchers on Göbekli Tepe, the Best of Sci Friday Volumes 1 and 2, and the 13-part video teaching series based on the book The Second Coming of Saturn. We'll even include The Unseen Adversary, an MP3 CD with 7 hours of audio interviews with Bible scholar Dr. Michael S. Heiser. Every DVD in our store, just $10 plus shipping and handling during December, only at gilberthouse.org/store.
Hi, welcome back. I just want to thank you for hanging in there with me. Apparently, Derek had turned the volume down on the earbuds all the way down, so I could hardly hear anything. I have a very soft voice, so if I can't hear myself very well, then I tend to overspeak and lose it. I want to tell you one of the reasons that probably is affecting my voice later on, but right now I want to continue with the idea of these seed oils. If you're looking for something that is healthy for your heart, but also will probably not lead to colon cancer. And I say probably not because, again, this is a very early study and much more study needs to be done on it. But I think in the meantime, just because it does seem to have a correlation, I would remove seed oils from my house. Here in Gilbert House, we use peanut oil and olive oil. That's it, those two. Peanut oil has a really high smoke point, and it is monounsaturated. It's high in vitamin E and lots of good things. Gives a nutty flavor to whatever you bake or whatever you fry in. So, yeah, we use a lot of peanut oil, and you can find it in big gallons in a lot of stores, especially in the summer during grilling season, and also in November when a lot of people smoke or fry their turkeys. So yeah, peanut oil, but olive oil, we use that as well. It's delicious in so many things. So try to stay heart healthy and as cancer-free as you can. Try not to consume things that have been associated with cancers. So please try to stay healthy. We try to do that here in the house, and it's impossible to be 100% perfect in that. But yeah, please take a look at your pantry and remove the oils that are not healthy. I'll put a link, or Derek will put a link in the description for this episode, and link to the story that I'm talking about, where you can review those oils that are seed oils that, frankly, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. would love to see us get out of our houses. Just stop producing them and only go with healthy oils that will not lead to cancer or other health issues. I promised you, and I'll get to another story here in a minute, but I promised you that I would, last week, that I would discuss my eye visit. Now, I'm still dealing with meibomian gland dysfunction. It's MGD is how it's often abbreviated. It's a very common disease in older people, often women. But it also can be a symptom of something is called Sjögren's disease. We'll put that in the description. It's spelled Sjögrens. It's pronounced Sjögren's like SH, but SJ is the beginning. Sjögren's is something that is an autoimmune disorder. It can start any time in your life, often when you're younger, and it has a lot of hallmark autoimmune aspects to it, including you'll have dry mouth, you'll have dry eye, the mucous membranes, that's the phrase I wanted, the mucous membranes throughout your body tend to dry up, including the lining of your colon. And it can make it difficult for you to have healthy removal of whatever you eat. It can lead to something that's called IBS. So if you have a lot of symptoms like that, you might want to, and especially if you have really chronic dry eye, discuss that with your optometrist or ophthalmologist. I did when I went yesterday. I mentioned Sjögren's, and because where I taught and where I studied at Indiana University Optometry School, we were studying Sjögren's. Many of the wonderful research scientists on the top floor were studying Sjögren's disease, trying to find the genetic component to it and how best to treat that, because it is a chronic issue that can attack your organs. So you don't want to have it. But yes, there is a blood test for it now that didn't exist at the time that I was at IU. It does exist now. So the recommendation from my doctor was ask your primary care physician to run a blood test for it. If you have chronic dry eye, you might want to just eliminate that as a cause. Again, there is a blood test, Sjögren's disease. I'm praying I don't have that. I would rather not because it's often treated with steroids. I don't want to take steroids. I am going to have 4 treatments for my eyes. It's a pulsed laser treatment as well as a treatment that looks sort of like the goggles that you put on if you go into a suntanning bed, except it heats up the eye, in particular the eyelids, and will have a mechanical motion to it as well. So it essentially is jackhammering open my meibomian glands, the oil glands in my eyelids. They were photographed and examined, and they just aren't moving. The oil in there is long, long since dried up, and nothing's coming out. It's sort of like when you have a mustard container or a glue container that's all dried up on the outside and nothing's coming out. Well, that's how it works in my case. But once the oil is, the dry oil is removed and popped out, once that is out, then the glands themselves should work properly. We'll see. We're praying for that. I'm praying for that because the oil glands are a big part of being able to see correctly. And I will eventually, in a couple of months, I'm praying, get the cataracts off and the new lenses put in to my eyes. And at that point, I should be able to see well enough to, I don't know that you can see it in, oh yeah, you can. The keyboard that I got for Christmas from Derek, he is wonderful, and he got me a Yamaha keyboard. I love playing the piano. I love doing that. And I used to play in our church, and I've missed it. Right now, even with the keyboard, I can't see the music well enough to know if I'm playing a B flat or a D flat. I don't know what it says. So I am going to look forward to being able to see my computer screen to finish writing the books and to complete the new book that Derek and I are working on for next year and to play the piano. I'm just so excited about it. I just want to tell you that there are so many things in our lives that can go wrong. And I think really that's how I want to end today. If I said earlier I was going to mention something, I apologize if I've forgotten it. That's part of my aging too. I tend to forget things. It is. Oh, I mentioned the dry voice. That possibly might be related to Sjögren's. My soft voice, I have had swollen vocal cords for years, and I've had them looked at. I've taken steroids for them. Nothing seems to help in the long term. So it could well be that it's just that they're super dry no matter what I do. I drink a lot of water. You can see it right here. Always got it by me. But it takes more than that. And I also consume a lot of electrolytes, which you gotta have when you drink a lot of water. But I do want to just very briefly say that as believers, we are to take every moment we can to serve the Lord. And Derek has been going through some changes, I'll say, because of neuropathy issues in his feet. And because of that, if you've seen him lately, maybe you saw him at the conference for Prophecy Watchers last weekend, you notice that he's now walking with a cane. And he's doing that because balance issues. When you can't feel your feet, it's very difficult if you suddenly feel just off balance to correct it. So he has that stick just in case. It's a reminder to both of us that he and I are not getting any younger. I don't want to be in this body forever. I want that brand new body that the Lord has promised for me. And I look forward to that day. I personally believe that the return of Christ is imminent. It is an any minute moment coming. It's an any minute truth. That's how I read the Bible. That's what I see coming in the news. And I will make a note to myself to talk to you next week about some things that are going on in the news that relate to the Sci Friday topics that Derek and I used to cover back in the day. We no longer have the time to do Sci Friday, but I will in 2025 have sort of a little mini Sci Friday here on The Armored Sheep. So if you've enjoyed that program, then stay tuned for that. Please share The Armored Sheep with your friends. Share gilberthouse.org with your friends. Share our app with your friends. And please, most of all, share Jesus with your friends because time is short. Thank you for watching. Love you so much. Bye-bye, everybody.